Thank you and good morning all. Welcome to Consider This, a national conversation on that most crippling, most pernicious, most decaying, virulent, and yet ubiquitous outrage, pornography, especially as it relates to our younger society. Well, thanks to some eminently well-qualified professionals, this weekend we confront the plague. And hopefully we will unravel over the next 2 days in a methodical way an approach, first of all, of course, to its causes and its effects, and hopefully by the end of the weekend we'll be able to at least be in a better place to confront this most nasty of issues. My name is Tony Harford. I have been accorded what I consider to be a considerable privilege to simply introduce a sequence of eminently well-suited professionals to this project. You will have to forgive me any mistakes I make because I have been plucked from the non-cerebral world of sport. And so I have an abundance of notes, and I'm not very good at handling notes. The list of dignitaries is long, not all with us, but I think it would be remiss and irresponsible if I didn't acknowledge those who are expected to be with us over the weekend. Some are already here this morning. First of all, this project is a project, as I indicated, of the Family Life Commission, headed by Mrs. Tricia Sims and her team, and we thank them for crafting an exemplary project. At various points during the course of today and tomorrow, we'll be joined by His Grace, the Archbishop of the Diocese of Port of Spain, Joseph Harris, Niccolo Girasoli, the Apostolic Nuncio of the Archdiocese of Port of Spain, Monsignor Christian Pereira, Vicar General of the Archdiocese. Already with us is Bishop Llanos, who will do the official welcome. He may have less to say because I think I'm usurping his authority. The Honourable Minister of Health has promised to be with us, Dr. Terence Dale Singh, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Gender and Child Affairs, Jackie Johnson, Omati Lida and Sharon Hamilton Kajo from One Caribbean Media. At the outset, we thank One Caribbean Media for their strong and sturdy support of this project. We thank other sponsors, Caribbean Print Technologies and the Massey Foundation, and I want to especially welcome our visitors who have registered for this event from various parts of the Caribbean. If you're here, you could probably just lift your hand or stand up. Let us acknowledge you for making the trip to Trinidad and Tobago. We, of course, have a miscellany of members of the clergy here in Trinidad and Tobago, educators, parents, and, of course, policy makers. Let me introduce the people at the head table, who will be, of course, the first set of speakers with us. Closest to me is Dr. Marianne Layden. Dr. Marianne Layden is a psychotherapist and Director of Education at the Center of Cognitive Therapy at the University of Pennsylvania. Dr. Donald Hilton is a neurosurgeon in San Antonio, Texas. He's a clinical associate professor in the Department of Neurosurgery at the University of Texas Health Sciences Center. And Mrs. Sharon Hawkins is the executive director at the National Center for Sexual Exploitation in the United States of America. We will be joined by Dr. Sharon Cooper. Dr. Cooper is a developmental and forensic pediatrician who evaluates and treats children who have been victims of all forms of abuse. Dr. Cooper will be joining us by Skype for her presentation, and as with all other speakers, you will have an opportunity to also ask questions when that time comes after she delivers her address. You will be, of course, directed to the microphone so she can hear you and respond accordingly. So we expect a weekend that is just mindful of information. Thank you again for coming. Let us now welcome Bishop Robert Llanos, to join us for the official welcome on behalf of the Family Life Commission. We congratulate Bishop Llanos, by the way, on his elevation, though of course his impending departure to Antigua. He is the titular bishop of Antigua, and I think he'll be leaving us shortly. So this may be our last rousing welcome for him at an event in Trinidad.
Mr. Harford, I left already. I've just returned for this very important occasion. Well, a formal good morning to everyone. I wish to begin by personally extending a very warm welcome to all of you, knowing full well the sacrifices that you have made to be here. I wish to especially welcome those who have come from overseas, including our guest speakers and workshop presenters. And a special welcome to all those persons who Mr. Harford mentioned will be here throughout the weekend, the various dignitaries, Minister of Health, and so on. Special welcome to all. The Archdiocesan Family Life Commission and Jubilee Ministries, the producers of this very important conference, wish to acknowledge and thank also all those companies and organizations whose contributions helped to make this event possible. They have been previously mentioned. In 2014, a member of Jubilee Ministries, at the invitation of the Archdiocesan Family Life Commission, joined me at a conference in Virginia, USA, on pornography and human sex trafficking. All these speakers were speakers at that conference. This event turned out to be a major eye-opener for both of us, and we left with the conviction that we had to spread the word in this region about the plague of pornography addiction and its consequences locally, regionally, and internationally. When we discovered subsequently that Trinidad and Tobago in the last 8 years or so, been ranked number 1 in the world per capita in 2016, after holding that position from 2007 to 2010. Let me repeat that. Trinidad and Tobago was the number 1 per capita user of pornography sites, number 1 in the world between 2007 and 2010, and again in 2016. And then consistently remaining in the top 4 from 2011 to 2015. So Trinidad and Tobago is keeping the pornography industry afloat. We knew our conviction to hold this conference then was well-founded. We also recognized that this problem of pornography addiction and its various effects on society was not only a moral and religious issue, but a serious attack on all the institutions that help build up and promote healthy and well-adjusted societies. Put simply, healthy human development and the well-being of all societies for generations to come, for both men and women, is seriously at risk if we do not take action and intervene now. I cannot overstate the dangers involved towards a country's economy, mental health, ability to maintain academic achievement, crime situation, family life, the education system, emotional health, violence towards women and children, and the list goes on. Most important, we are here to save the children of the next generation and the generations and the ones after that from what is promising to be an addiction harder to overcome and far more destructive to society than cocaine, heroin, or any of the known drugs of our time. Just in case you think I am exaggerating, the average age of first-time pornography use worldwide is 12 years old. In England, it is now 8 years old. These and many other statistics and insights you will receive over this weekend, and I implore you to take them seriously, and as a result, take action. This is not a time to engage in denial or trivializing or any other defense mechanism you may want to employ, because the problem we face in pornography addiction is evil and very destructive. The sooner we face it and intervene, the better chance we have of saving our children now and in generations to come. As adults, we have a responsibility and an obligation to do what we can to save the generations to come from this very serious problem. Pornography and sexual deviance and associated forms of violence are not new to history, but current technologies have made their use and effects more virulent than many have expected. Your children don't necessarily have to go in search of porn. Porn now comes in search of your children, and they are not likely to tell you about it. We hope that this conference will both enlighten and empower you to go out and take action. Intervene before it is too late. Our future as a nation, a region, and a world is at stake. I wish you all now a successful and fruitful conference. God bless you.